This is like something straight out of science fiction, and yet it's real. Scientists mind-controlled mice in a remote, extraordinary world first. Yes, this did happen. And it used a powerful magnetic field to do it. They were able to control appetite as well as social behaviors. Your body has these little ion channels, and if they can be activated remotely, they can affect behavior. They put these magnetic nanospheres in the mouse in specific regions in the brain. They also gave it genetics so that their ion channels can interact with them. We do already have ion channels like this in our bodies, but this allows for something very targeted. While the mice were in this container with a magnet that spun around them, they're able to activate different regions of the brain. Parts of the brain that are associated with hunger and reward could be activated, and they would just shun food. In fact, you can see the mice that had it are quite a bit skinnier. But you can also activate parts of the brain that have to do with social behavior. Mice that had it would spend more time with mice that are not familiar to them than other mice who would want to hang out with their friends. This is the first time that mind control has been able to be done remotely. When it comes to controlling behaviors with electronics, we tend to really need a lot of wires and electrodes, and yes, that can be done, that's been done for quite some time. But figuring out a way to control critters remotely without any wires involved, just a magnet, is definitely a world first, and it is exciting. This could also be applied to certain ion channels we already have in our brains, and that's going to be a next step. The ion channels are essentially acting like an antenna that can receive the magneto-nanoparticles as this experiment was done. Now, what can we do with magneto-mechanical genetics? What exactly is the purpose of this? It might actually be mind control. Theoretically, being able to work with things remotely in a lab without the need for electrodes could enable a lot of research that just can't be done right now because putting electrodes in a brain is quite a damaging experience. So imagine activating brain regions in mice without the need for all of that. There can be longer experiments with less negative side effects. It could also be used for medical treatment, things that have to do with depression. While yes, there is deep brain stimulation, which seems to help for depression, having something remote that could be used could be quite a bit safer. The same could be said for treatments for things like Parkinson's, or even the activation of cell types that have to do with growth and renewal. This could actually heal regions of your brain if the technology is perfected. And of course, we do have gene editing. So if we were in a situation where this might only be useful if you had the edited genes that can be targeted specifically, yeah, I could see that being a desire so you don't get off-target effects. You could actually use edit an adult with something like CRISPR-Cas and some of the technology that's coming out that is a lot more specific than it used to be, because they are just injecting those magnetic nanoparticles into brain regions of the mice. They don't really know how many off-target effects they might have. If they were just given globally, that's something that we could figure out. And yeah, I guess mind control is one aspect of this, but I really fail to see the utility of it unless the technology gets a lot better, and hell, maybe it will. We're able to translate people's speech, their inner monologue, from their brain using an EEG cap now. And people said the only way to be able to do that would be the brain chips, which could also do it. People also said it wasn't possible to begin with, and we're finding out a lot of things are possible. So what do you think? Mind control mice? They're kind of cool.